The AITA for not giving my neighbor's youngest daughter my garage code. My 82F neighbor 44F has 4 kids. 3 girls and a boy. There's Amelia and Emma 17F, Henry 15 meters and Erica 14F. Amelia and Emma are posting this for me. They moved here just before Erica was born, and I used to help their mom with the twins while she took care of the babies. Both my sons are child-free, and I consider these kids my grandkids. Amelia, Emma, and Henry are amazing kids. They come over to help with chores, cook with me, and are very well behaved. Erica, however, is a nightmare. Even her mom admits to not being able to control her. She and I were never close, and she used to only come to my house when I'd invite them. Then I got my dog, Bentley. Erica fell in love with him and would ask to come see him every day. I allowed her to come when I was home for a while, but she started ignoring my instructions with him, so I started making excuses as to why she couldn't come over. Henry and the twins were still here for hours every day. When the twins turned 13, I gave them the code to my garage so they could come over whenever they wanted. I gave Henry the code when he was around 12. All of the kids kept it a secret from Erica because they viewed my house as an escape from her. Erica saw Henry use the code yesterday and asked me to give her the code so she can play with Bentley. I told her I don't want her to come over without her dad, the only person who can control her because of her behavior. According to the twins, she's been throwing tantrums non-stop since. Their mom is asking me to give her the code or a house key to get her to calm down and was very upset when I said no, so I wanted to see if I was the asshole. Edit, added the neighbor's age to avoid confusion. Now for some comments. NTA. Getting the code to your garage is a privilege the other kids have earned. Through her actions, Erica hasn't earned the same privilege. Shame on mom for asking you to compromise your house to solve her inability to control her child. Yep, Op isn't under any obligation to give up her space because the mom can't control her youngest. But can we also take a moment from THR obvious NTA to comment on the other 3 kids, 2 of which helped make this post? Absolutely good on them, or helping Op out in so many ways over the years and not giving into their sisters or mom's tantrums guilts to give over the code. And helping her make this post was nice to do. You guys probably already know how much you mean to Op from the sounds of the post, and I can see why. You guys are great. All 3 of you deserve a medal, but all I got is an emoji, so here, one for each of you. Real MVPs, keep up the good work, and remember, you guys got Op's back, and she has yours. I agree with all of these sentiments about the 3 kiddos being fantastic and more, but I'm here to give serious props to the Op for stepping up and taking the whole "it takes a village to raise a child" mantra to heart and waking the walk. Wow, you are an amazing human. I know the 3 kids are now old enough to be able to help you out, and it sounds like you enjoyed taking care of them when they were little babes. But that's some serious work. That makes the mother treating you like you owe her regarding Erica's privileges extra cringe-worthy. There is something very wrong going here for someone of your character being attacked by people who, if anything, owe you big time. At least knowing the first 3 share such an awesome relationship with you is warming my heart. But beware of the mother. I really hope she and Erica get the help they need. Op, steer clear and keep being an entirely exceptional entity. Absolutely. And it isn't too hard to conclude Erica's behavior issues might stem from mom giving into her tantrums. There could also be a neurodivergency going on. Sometimes brattiness is being spoiled, sometimes it is a symptom of something else. That the 3 oldest are great tells me there is a good chance it is a medical thing. The parents clearly did great with the other 3. There could be, but the experience of the youngest child is usually very different than the experience of a first child. It's not implausible that she was just brought up differently due to the number of siblings in her earliest years, the parents' financial stability and job security when she came along, etc. I'm really passionate about acknowledging neurodivergence and providing appropriate accommodations, flexibility, and defaulting to that accessibility, even when no diagnosis is present. But I'm also cautious about assuming that anyone who causes problems must be neurodivergent. It introduces an expectation that neurodivergent people are disrespectful or entitled And in cases where the person is just a spoiled brat, it can lead people to assume all discussion of neurodiversity is just making excuses for bad behavior. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just adding to what you said to say let's keep in mind that while she may have something else going on, neurodiversity is much more than offending the neighbor or being difficult for your parents. And if it is undiagnosed neurodiversity, then she's probably not having tantrums, but experiencing a distressing symptom that she isn't coping within very well. NTA. Your house, your rules. Her siblings have also already stated that they view your home as a safe haven, an escape from her. Why would you want to take that from them? This is her mother's problem. And you need to tell her that. When she asks again and gets upset when you say no, which will happen, make it clear that her child's behavior is not your problem and that she needs to parent her child rather than just giving in to her demands. NTA. You are not required to give anyone access to your home that way. Mom wanting you to is giving in and enabling her tantrums. That is not the way to teach kids boundaries and respect for others. She sounds like a very spirited child whose mom is probably at her wit's end trying to figure out how to work better with her. She probably gets too worn out to continue the battle and gives in, thus reinforcing the behavior. That is not your responsibility and not something you have to participate in. Now for the next story. AITA, for refusing to have anything to do with my ex's son's grad? This may be a bit long-winded, so I apologize in advance. Back in 2006, I started dating a woman who had a 2-year-old son. While we were together, I formed a special bond with him, and it wasn't long before he started calling me dad. It actually got the point where I spent more time with him than her. In 2009, we broke up. However, I continued to take her son every second weekend. Even years after the breakup, he still considered me his father. We did the things he enjoyed, played video games, watched movies, went to the park, etc. He always had a blast. Meanwhile, he started forming a bond with his mom's now husband and started calling him dad as well. Needless to say, dad number 2 didn't like the fact that I was dad number 1, so he started saying he didn't want me to take the son anymore. My ex, being the terrible person she is, decided that instead of just helping us all come to a solution, decided to fill the kid's head with a bunch of lies about me. This was all just before Easter 2017 at a blast. Meanwhile, he started forming a bond with his mom's now husband and started calling him dad as well. She told him that I was a deadbeat who owed her thousands of dollars, refused to find a real job, threatened to have dad number 2 deported. He's from the Philippines and never wanted anything to do with him in the first place. Absolutely none of this is true. Unfortunately, the son believed it, and with that was the last time I ever saw him. At first we were able to talk on the phone, but as he got older, that started coming to an end as well. Now it's been almost 2 years since we even spoke. We effectively have no contact whatsoever. It was devastating having to deal with all this, but I've accepted it and moved on. Anyways, this afternoon I get a call from my ex. She told me in no uncertain terms that since he's graduating this year, it's my duty to contribute at least $500 to his graduation present and show up at his grad gathering if we can have them by then. I told her not a chance in hell. She chose to fill his head with crap, leading him to choose to not want anything to do with me. Suddenly spending time with them again would just open a whole bunch of emotions that I shouldn't have to deal with. Of course she went absolutely off on me, calling me every name in the book and saying I ruined his grad. She basically wanted me to buy him the one thing he wants, a PS5, and that it's no wonder he wants nothing to do with me. I told her to fuck off and hung up on her AITA for refusing to basically torture myself just to make someone happy. Now for some comments. NTA. She only called you because she wanted you to buy her kid an expensive present. Exactly. X is a real piece of work. Op could consider writing a letter or a congratulations card to the son offering to take him out to dinner or coffee to say well done and catch up. Yeah, send a letter or offer something, but I feel like this is a lose-lose situation. If he send the card, but not an extravagant amount the mom could spin it like see? He doesn't care. Or toss out the letter before the son could see, especially if she is the only go-between. Or when he does, per se, buy the PS5 or whatever. Option 1. She claims it's from her. I bet she would jolt onto the present, be the one to take it to the party because oh, sorry, only limited amount of guest tickets. Claim the present is from her, and that if Op tries to say anything otherwise she will become even more nasty, since she got what she wanted, and Op would be trying to call her out. Option 2. She claims it's a bribe. She could say it's a bribe for Op being a deadbeat, and why would he have the money for that, but not all those thousands he owes me. Op, I am so sorry you had to go through that and now this. I know you may want to reach out, but his head may still be filled with the lies and hurt from them, and obviously your ex is still batshit crazy. There is a chance he may reject you, rather than just dropping contact, which is what I understood happened. If that is the case, you could be opening yourself up for a lot more emotional hurt than you have already been through, especially since it obviously still upsets you. Do what you need to do for your mental health, and if you do reach out, make sure you are prepared, not only for what your ex and her partner might say, but the son as well. Good luck. NTA. Your ex is way out of line to think she has a claim, and do you think she'd let him know you contributed to the gift? No way. But poor kid deserves the truth and is old enough to hear it. I hope you write a congratulations card letter to him, explaining what happened, just the basics from your point of view, not trying to destroy his relationship with his mother, but just explaining that you always have and still do care about him and you're proud of him for graduating. Figure out a way to get it to him without the adults blocking it. You could enclose a small token gift card or no gift at all. He might choose to renew contact with you if you can handle that. Honestly, it might be best not to say much at all. Just congratulations and that you're proud of him. Trying to explain might only push him away if he's not ready to hear it. You could say something like, I'm a phone call away if you need something or ever want to talk, if that's true for you, and leave it at that. I'm sorry, Op. You're not the but neither is the kid. His mother is. Hopefully he will come to recognize the parental alienation for what it is, and you can have a relationship again someday. Won't send him anything. Just let sleeping dogs sleep. Now for the next story. AITA, for pretending to be friend's boyfriend instead of calling real BF. I 18M work at a store. My good friend 18F works at a different store in the same shopping area. We both got off at 9 p.m. She calls me right at like 9. She said a man kept coming into the store she works at that day, made flirty remarks to her, and made sexual comments to her. He had been watching her from outside. He was still out there. She was scared. I told her under no circumstances should she leave the store and to wait for me. I met her at the store and walked her to her car holding her hand. I thought looking like I was her boyfriend by holding her hand would be a good idea. I saw the guy look at us, but he walked away. My friend has an actual boyfriend. He called me fuming, mad that I pretended to be her boyfriend and took his place. He wanted me to call him so he could be the one to come, do what I did. Now for some comments. NTA, and you need to do the girl a favor and tell her the boyfriend called you. You saved her from a dangerous situation. This shit is how women get raped or killed, and his first thought is to get mad and yell at you and not thank you for bailing her out. I didn't want to stir drama by telling her he called me, but she's my friend, so I do think I need to tell her. I appreciate you not wanting to stir drama, but this man's attitude towards her, or at least what happened here, is bad. She absolutely needs to know he's out of line. He's my friend, so I do think I need to tell her. NTA. In what reality does her BF live that he thinks you should waste time calling him in a situation like that? Obviously he should be talking about this with his GF, not you. But then, she would tell him that she needed to get out of there ASAP, so she called you because you were literally just a few minutes away, and he would look like an idiot for being mad about it. So instead he calls you and makes a stupid and pointless demand when he should have called to thank you for helping her out. Be sure to tell your good friend that her BF called you up angry because you helped her. He's got issues, and she deserves a heads up about that. And make sure she knows that she shouldn't hesitate to call you for help if that creeper guy comes back again. Her safety is much more important than her BF's insecurities. NTA. Actually the opposite. Good thinking, please teach your friends this. This gives me a glimmer of hope. It's gross that it's even necessary in the first place, but you helped out your friend in a quick and thoughtful way. Good job. That guy needs to get a grip. How is his masculinity so fragile that he can't appreciate when someone is looking out for his GF? Reminds me of when I was a teenager and a male friend lent me his jacket as I was cold, and my BF at the time who didn't have a jacket tried to make me hand it back because I should be wearing his and would clearly rather see me cold than someone else look out for me. You should tell her. He's probably given her crap about it too, so you should validate the alarm bells that should be going off in her head. Okay, thank you, this all really good advice. I'm gonna call her and tell her all this.